What's going on, guys? It's Birdy. I'm back with another video, and today I'm reacting to foods in America that are banned in Europe. I'm very excited to see this video, guys, and react to it because I want to see if some of the foods that we see are actually foods that I consume on a daily basis. But before we start, make sure you guys smash that like button, comment down below what you want to see me react to next, and make sure subscribe if you're new. Let's get into it.
Right now, you're eating ingredients that are flat out banned in other countries across the world. I'm talking about foods that are sitting on the store shelves of grocery stores across the USA. I'm going to show you 6 of these ingredients that are so banned and so controversial, why they're so bad for us, and give you the better for you swaps. Look at the big wall of colored sports drinks. They are very brightly colored, and my friends, that is not a natural shade of red. This is fruit punch here. Oh, with
Gatorade.
artificial colors, red number 40. Or how about a little orange sports drink? You think it might have orange in there? No, it's got a combination of yellow 6 artificial colors in there. Look at the wall of brightly colored sodas there.
So
very,
many.
very neon and fluorescent indeed, including this one in my hand. That's a nice combination of yellow 6 and red number 40. Look at this brightly colored wall of cereals behind me. Pick up any one of them, they'll have a litany of artificial colors too. I even strolled over to the medicine.
It is crazy. A lot of things that we eat here in America, almost everything contains like red 40 in it.
Aisle over there, and all those brightly colored syrups and whatnot are colored with artificial colors. But get this, in Europe and in other countries, they're banned. We know why they use them here. They're bright colored, and we eat with our eyes first. And if something looks appealing, we're gonna get it. The problem is, what are these colors derived from? Artificial dyes are derived from petroleum, crude oil, and fossil fuels, which is why they're banned in Europe. How is there this difference between the countries? Grass. Generally regarded as safe. Here in the US, we tell our food manufacturers the onus of burden is on you. If you do the research and pay for it and you say it's safe, we trust you, right? It's a little handshake, high five agreement. In Europe, they're like hacks to the no. We, the European body or the legislation, does the homework, and if we think it's safe, then we say it's okay, which is why they have a small list of approved ingredients and we have a big one. Remember this big orange soda I showed you? Well, I just got in the mail the European counterpart.
Wow. Look at the color difference, like the bright orange versus like the European color.
Something looks really, really different. This is fluorescent orange. This looks like orange juice. Why? Because the coloring from this comes from beta carotene, the same thing that makes carrots orange. And when you pour it out, it's much more natural looking. I've got the European version of Gatorade here called Lucozade. It doesn't have the same ring as Gatorade, but it looks different, just like the Fanta did, because the coloring is beta carotene once again. Very, very interesting. Also, Fruit Loops here have that litany of artificial colors. Look at the box I just got from Canada that I ordered, colored with natural fruit and vegetable juices. They're doing this because artificial dyes not only are derived from petroleum, but they're linked to behavioral issues in kids, and many of these brightly colored things here are directly for kids, especially things like medicine, brightly colored medicine here with a combination of artificial colors, especially the kids ones, but you can easily find dye-free ones like this here. Bottom line, you want to avoid the artificial colors. They're banned in other countries for a reason. The fact that we have them here, but the same companies put them in other countries with different ingredients is downright wrong. What if I told you all of this chicken behind me, every single packet of chicken, is banned in Europe? They will not take any of this chicken.
No
Breast,
way.
thighs, heck, they won't even take this organic, boneless, skinless chicken thigh. You want to know why? The answer is in small writing right here, because it may contain up to 5% retained water. Heck, sometimes you can find chicken with up to 7% retained water. It's not just water. This is water chilled chicken. So after this is slaughtered, It's dipped in chilled barrels of water that have chlorinated bleach in there to kill any bacteria or pathogens. That's the bad way to chill chicken. The good way is air chilled chicken. But
Mm,
Europe will not take any of this because they have very high hygiene standards. And if our chicken needs to be dunked in chlorinated water, they deem it inferior. Yikes, but it's fine for here. Oh, by the way, it's also bad for us because if up to 5% of this is water weight, because it's soaked up the chlorinated water, what are we paying for? Bloated meat, that's water weight. And when you soak up water, it also ruins the texture and flavor, in my opinion. Now, air-chilled
wow.
chicken is where it's at. But none of this is air chilled right here. In Europe, we'll take exported air chilled, but the majority of ours is water chilled. So what should you do? Ask your butcher, if you still shop at a store that has a butcher, or look on the packet for air chilled chicken. Open my
I definitely need to find a butcher because I'm not gonna lie, some of those chickens that he just showed, I do consume a lot, and that it's pretty crazy to me.
fridge or freezer right now at home, you'll see that brand called La Belle and Patrimone is air chilled, which is going to be superior. Some brands will do water chilled, like Pasture Bird at Sprouts, but it's just water, no chlorine. But ultimately, most of it is dunked in chlorinated water, which is not hygienic, and Europe won't even take it. So why would we take it? Next up, I'll show you a
Exactly.
sweetener that Europe and other countries ain't taking either. There it is, our beloved Heinz tomato catsup. The
Yep.
problem is, the one we all know and love in here is sweetened with high fructose corn syrup, one of the worst
Mm-hmm.
sweeteners you can get. But the other day, I ordered the Heinz tomato catsup from the UK. And oh my gosh, that's so interesting because the primary sweetener in there
Is sugar.
is sugar. And they put the very British ingredient of spirit vinegar in there also.
If you notice though, like compared like to like our foods, right? And then you look at the European ingredients on the back, we have such a long list of ingredients. And then you look at like something like, for example, like the Fanta or the ketchup from Europe, and like it's just very minimal ingredients, like only a few.
Now, just in case that wasn't a one-off, this is the Dr. Pepper that's here at the grocery store at every
Mm-hmm.
US store. The second ingredient is high fructose corn syrup as the sweetener. Well, I got the UK version of Dr. Pepper. Actually, I used to like Dr. Pepper when I was a kid. It was something about that, what is it, 23 spices. It's very enticing. The sweetener in this one, is sugar. How interesting is that? Now,
That's
high
crazy.
fructose corn syrup isn't necessarily banned in other countries. They'll use something called glucose syrup, but it's frowned upon and you're not going to see it nearly as much. Case in point, because high fructose corn syrup is cheaper than sugar, more addictive than
Mm.
sugar, and more easily absorbed into our bloodstream than sugar. Gosh, I wonder why over 50% of us are either type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic. Now, I will give us a little bit of credit here because if you do pick up the Heinz Simply ketchup here, they did the smart thing of swapping out the high fructose corn syrup with sugar. So we do have that alternative now. And heck, I'll even give them a little more credit because they have a no added sugar one. And I thought it was going to have artificial sweeteners. Geez, they're using stevia leaf. It does have natural flavors, which is not Bobby approved, but we're making a difference.
What's crazy is though, the type of stuff that he's saying, like those ones that say no added sugar, will be like definitely more expensive than like a regular ketchup. You know what I'm saying? And then like in Europe, you guys like that's just like a normal thing to you. We have to pay higher to not have that stuff in our food, which is crazy.
Consumers are starting to speak up more. So that's nice to see. My favorite ketchup is actually right behind me. This is Primal Kitchen ketchup with a touch of honey as the sweetener, which is really nice. But once again, when they're using different ingredients here versus over there for the same manufacturer, I don't like that at all. Take a look at that big wall of baking mixes
All the
there. All
sweets.
of them are gonna have this ingredient right here, enriched, bleached flour. Take a look at some more baking stuff like biscuits and whatnot. Once again, you have that bleached flour there.
Mhm.
And take a look at the wall of baked goods that we all grew up with. This is a chocolate muffin here with bleached wheat flour. My friends,
That was definitely those muffins. I grew up eating those. I love those things.
bleached flour is downright banned in Europe. You know what's so crazy? They're like, why do you bleach that? Well, I'll tell you why they do it, because it makes the flour softer. So when you're making baked items, it has a nice texture. But if you just have a little bit of patience, like Axl Rose said in Guns N' Roses back in the day, flour, when it ages, will naturally whiten and get soft to make it perfect for your biscuits and whatnot. By the way, I have an amazing recipe for a
Mm.
dupe of these using almond flour that are keto. Delicious. I'll put the link down below. So you can do it naturally, but that takes time, and time is money, my friends. So when you bleach it with great gas, it's much quicker. But studies show that toxins can be found in the flour as a residue, up to sometimes 25%, and those can lead to some
Oh
pretty
my.
big health issues. That's a perfect example right there of you can just do it naturally the way grandma would do it, but no, we do it with chlorine gas, which is a big no-no. We gotta avoid bleached flour at all costs. Next, we're gonna jaunt over to the personal care section to show you something they don't allow over there. The world of personal care can be a really, really scary world to navigate. And there's a couple ingredients that are downright banned in Europe, but it's quite common to find them here. Ooh, see right here where it says methylparaben
Yeah, that
and
can't be good.
propylparaben. Those are types of parabens that live in the family, and this is something that we talked about recently in a video, that some of them stuff CeraVe makes is good, but some isn't. And once again, boom, propylparaben, methylparaben. Parabens have been found to be
Those things I can barely pronounce. So there's no way that that could be good for me. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it.
hormone disrupting ingredients, and the EU and Europe just says, no, we don't want it. But for some reason, they still keep putting it here, and we slather our bodies in these lotions and potions and goos and our
Mm.
scalps, and it absorbs directly in the biggest organ of your body. I posted a video the other week, I'll link to it right here, talking about the most toxic personal care and what to get instead. I see one of them here, but Dr. Squatch has a moisturizing lotion here that not only doesn't have the parabens, it doesn't have any of the nasty synthetic fragrances and whatnot. A common
Once again, that Dr. Squatch is probably way higher in price than compared to like the CeraVe or something like that.
question in that video, which is getting quite popular, so thank you for that, is what lotion do you recommend? Well, Squatch is one of them. There's another one called Everyone that I'll pop up right here that's free of the nasties. But once again, watch that video. It has a lot of the toxic ingredients we need to avoid, why they're so bad, and what the swaps are instead. We're gonna finish the video in the Great Wall of Cereals here. And this is really, really interesting, because not only is this ingredient banned and controversial, many of the cereal makers don't even use it anymore. It seems that Post loves this ingredient here called BHT, added to
BHT.
preserve freshness. Fred and Barney, BHT. It's a
Wow.
preservative, but it's quite controversial. It's banned downright in Europe, but for some reason, something like Kellogg's, they don't use it. See what it says right here? It says mixed tocopherols to preserve freshness. Mixed tocopherols are from vitamin E. Totally natural, totally fine. The problem with the BHT is that it can have carcinogenic effects and toxicity effects. Like,
Mm.
why would certain makers like Post continue to use it when their counterpart doesn't? That right there tells me that it needs to go. So that is the 6 of 6 ingredients that are banned.
Wow, guys, I'm not gonna lie. The next time I go shopping, I am definitely gonna be looking on the back of the ingredients and, double checking what I'm buying. But make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. And maybe we'll do a part 2. But it's been Birdie, and I'm out. Peace.